Welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Trooper Podcast. It's been a while. Well, maybe not. Maybe it was last week. I don't remember. My schedule, how I do
days are hard. Time is
Yeah.
a construct of man.
Yeah, it just
But-
blends together, honestly. And we haven't done another. We'll do another over under episode. I wanted to do it for Invader League, but I kind of forgot. So maybe we'll do it for Invader League finales because that's like
I think in the single elims would probably be a better. It's a pretty wide net to cast for
just anything.
the whole Invader League.
But with me, as always, I have Nick, aka Grammar Police, on the Discord.
Hey guys, good to see you
And
again.
I have Ramone, aka Mad Jack, on the Discord.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Legion. Well, let me back up even more. The Fifth Trooper, when Jay and I started it, like 3 years ago now, 4 maybe, was just a book club that him and I were doing just to like. We didn't really have like a goal. We were just like, hey, we like talking about this game. I remember when we reviewed Han Solo and we're like, holy crap, he's gonna break the game. 2 red gunslinger. Whoa, like, did anybody play test this? Like,
That's crazy.
and now it's like not even like Rex can hang. It's like 3 red gunslinger. You're like,
Yeah.
He's just
But-
toast.
Nothing new.
Yeah, no,
Meh.
old hat.
Speaking of Gunslinger, we'll get into that later.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
For real. But I have my boy Mad Jack on because he wanted to do an announcement.
Yeah. So I'm out here in Springfield, Missouri, and so we decided to put together a tournament out here. We're working alongside with Metagames Unlimited. It's our local shop here, and they've been awesome at providing the space, and the community is just awesome. We got a local guy just does all the printing for all the terrain and stuff, and we got just the community is super involved, super into it. And Carl, our guy from Metagames, he was like, I think it's time for a tournament. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So which is why I'm here today, to invite everyone to come out.
Sure,
I actually
what's-
didn't know that's where you're out of. I'm from St. Louis.
Really? Dude,
Yeah.
well, you got to come out then.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's cool.
That's a new involvement here. All right.
Yeah.
We're back in, baby. We're what's
Well,
what's the date you're looking at?
October 1st and 2nd. So it's just around the corner.
Yep.
We
Couple
just kind of threw everything together real quick and we're like, all right, let's see if it works out.
No, man, that's I'm terrible at planning ahead anything far. A lot of times when I'm asked to do like a Legion tournament at my local store, I'm like, yeah, just do it next weekend. Right? Like
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
fine.
yeah, I'll just we'll see instead of the time ahead. But awesome. What how many players? What's your cap?
So our cap is going to be 32 players, and
Oh,
we're doing your standard 800 points. I think we got the space for maybe over 40, but I think we're keeping it at 30. I think if we sell out, I don't know, Carl might open up, more
Sure.
tables for it. So we'll
That's
see. We'll
great.
see what happens.
And what's the name of the store?
Metagames Unlimited.
Games Limited.
Yeah, we'll get
I'll,
details up and get them in the
Yeah,
Or
I'll
the-
throw them
the
in
description.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to where you can buy the tickets. And I think he added the player packet on there already. So
Oh, cool. So like real talk, the big events that I go to, like Nova and PAX and Adepticon, they're fine. Like I see my friends, I go, I play.
Yeah.
But these local run events that are just hosted for like, we're doing it for the hell of it, are the best. Like those are, it just nothing matters, right? Like you're just there to play Legion. You get an excuse to play
Right.
Legion for a few days. No world invite in the line. Nothing that like you lose your first game. Like, oh, cool, whatever. Like, all right,
Yeah.
good game. Like it's not like a heartbreak because you just spent like $1,000 of like travel, hotel, and everything just to get slapped. So these are the events that if you really want to get into the community and you really want to see the true coolness that Legion has to offer, these are the things to really go to.
yeah, that's for sure.
And so October, 1st and 2nd at Metagames Unlimited.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is, what's the location, city?
Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah. We'll be starting, like, I think doors open at 8. So from 8 to 9, be registering and stuff, and 9 a.m. throwing dice.
You're from the Springfield?
The Springfield, the only one.
Springfield?
Yep, the only one.
Excellent. And I know we've got Cami from Cami's Custom Cards.
Yeah,
she's
been awesome. Yeah, she sent us some cool custom cards that we're just gonna be handing out, giving out for free. Our guys over there at 6up Supply, they've been awesome. They actually got a little sneak peek of what they sent us.
Oh,
trophy.
dude.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, hey, that's actually cool. Yeah,
it's
dude.
super cool.
Keegan's awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. It was super quick too, the turnaround. Like, I think I was talking to him on a Monday, and then by the end of the weekend, it was at my door, and I was like, wow, that was quick.
Yeah, Keegan's super cool. 6up is one of our partners. Even if they're not like in the umbrella, they're like a very good friend of the podcast and channel. So anything, if you have a chance, go check out his tokens. I like his dodge and aim. Granted, it's the X-Wing, like it's a targeting thing in the X-Wing.
Right.
He uses, and I'm just a sucker for anything X-Wing, so they got me.
For sure. Yeah, they got tons of cool products.
It's the spaceship targeting.
We don't
array.
speak of that game, sir.
we can't name it anything. It's the ship that looks like a crisscross ship targeting array. But excellent, cool. So check that out. I know another shout out, I think Luminous Gaming is having another event soon, TM. I want to say Austin said it was October. Probably we'll get some more information on that next time he's on. And then there's PAX at the end of the year. This is my low-key, like a dream event where it's free to play. Well, ticket to PAX, and those are getting expensive. I got the screen up. PAX Unplugged. Talk about con badges. Yes, so geez. All right. Back in my day, it was $60 to go to PAX. That was 3 years ago. So $78 to get into PAX for 3-day, or if you just want to do the 1-day badge. But if you've never been to PAX Unplugged, I recommend not just doing the 1-day badge and going all 3 days. So you spend the first. Here's Evan's pro tip on PAX. You find an event for your Saturday, Sunday, so you don't have to spend money. And then you spend your Friday just going around the event hall, and you dream about buying things. You're like, you feign a lot of interest in buying that $18,000 gaming table. Like, yes, will this fit my needs, sir? And you ask a lot of pointed questions.
That only works if you have self-discipline, though.
Yeah,
I am awful at that. Back at Adepticon, man. You guys sucked me into buying the whole thing for what's it called? The
Stormtide, probably.
I'm sorry,
or Stormtide.
Yeah, Stormtide.
Yeah.
So I bought the whole thing. I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
So yeah, dude, it's actually tough. So I've been like, I try to. It's like gambling. Like anytime I go to like a casino event, I'm like, all right, if I gamble $100, that's my limit. And I just won't. But like with this, it's like, well, this is the con exclusive. It's a PAX Con exclusive. No one else is gonna have it. So I'm like, oh gosh, my FOMO is kicking in. But yeah, so if you do a 3-day, it's gonna be, you can sign up on TTO right now. There's not an official sign up for the event yet, but it's 2 days, 5 games, 3 Saturday, 2 Sunday, and they just take the top player. There's no cut, there's no like whatever. So even if you lose every game, you get to play 5. And that's awesome. Because nothing's worse than like, let's say there's a bye and you get a bye the first day, so you play 2, and then you didn't make the cut. So you paid $80 or whatever to play 2 games of Legion, and then to get to sit and watch other people play. Like,
also, they're not trying to cram too much into a day, because 4 games in a day sucks.
Yeah, it's heavy, bro.
sounds like it'll be super easy on your feet.
Oh, dude, yeah, PAX is pretty. Last time I was there, I brought the triple flutter, triple Wookie, Chewie, triple clone, and I have a Chewie onesie, and I had the talking Chewbacca mask on, and I'm like dancing next to my Wookiees because I thought it was funny, and then like it was hot in there, and so I'm sweating, and the inside of the mask is just dripping water, and it looks like the Chewie was crying, and I'm just like, yeah, I had to like sit down, and the guy, my buddy, my first game was against my friend from Pennsylvania, and he's the outsider in Mike in my Discord, and he's like, hey man, if you want to take it off, dude, that's cool. I'm like, no, I gotta keep it off.
Commit to the bit.
I gotta commit to the bit. And then like round 2, I was like ripping it off. Thank God I thought to wear clothes. There was definitely there's a divergent path in Evan's history where he didn't wear clothes under that. So he's just stuck with it. So
Wow.
But PAX is gonna be cool. Also to note about PAX, top 4 get a flight voucher to Adepticon and 2 are raffled. And to that point, there's going to be a last chance qualifier at Adepticon. So if you go to PAX and you win, you can take that flight and go to Adepticon and enter the last chance if you don't have a world invite yet. So like,
super nice.
Yeah, right. It's the community just pooled money together, which is wild. I'm in for that. One last thing, I normally don't do like store shout outs. That's usually that for scoundrels, whatever Jay's got. But these new tokens we put out. Let's see, can I open an image in a new tab and make it bigger? Are pretty dope.
That's pretty.
Those
Pretty
look
cool.
pretty sweet.
My favorite being Cad Bane. These are all the hunters. So we got Bosk. Bosk is okay.
Sorry, you're pronouncing it wrong.
Boosk. The Boosk.
Ooh, those are neat. Those are
Yeah,
dope.
those I think are my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. IGs are real good. And then the child.
Oh, those are cool too, dude. Oh.
Yeah,
like
these
the
are
art on
actually
that.
these are real solid.
Here I go spending money.
Yeah. Not to say to spend money,
You
but
should ask Jay if there's a discount code when you just buy them all.
Yeah, that's I normally don't do shop stuff, but these are actually like really cool. Everyone loves bounty hunters. Are like one of the cooler parts of Star Wars. And we actually did a cool set of those, and those are wicked rad. But onto the actual, speaking of bounty hunters.
Well, hold up.
What?
Hold up, I
Whoa.
completely spaced out. ZZ Armory. That's another guy that's helping us out. Yeah, he's actually sending us a whole table to raffle away of terrain. Wow. So that's gonna be super cool. Yeah.
So speaking of ZZ Armory, he was on here a few casts ago.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Oh, hey, there you go.
Hey, there's my ship. You can see it's sitting right up there. It's my lat proxy with Vader for his tie. I'm sorry, the Dark Lord starship.
Not in any way as high.
No,
that would break copyright.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. But ZZ Armory, really awesome dude. Actually makes super affordable terrain. You can print it, you can buy it. His website's a little extra though. All right. So there's a lot of all the spinning space kind of gives me MySpace vibes, but that's cool. I used to have music playing and I called mine like the Mech Bay or something. I don't know. I was whatever. I had some stuff going on. These are wicked cool. So if you get a chance, if either you're very lucky and you go to, do you have a name for your event?
Completely spaced out. Unlimited Power 2022.
Unlimited Power.
Unlimited
Power.
Yep.
Put it with an A. If you go to the Unlimited Power event and you win a table, awesome. If you don't, you can actually, his sculpts are good. And the nice thing about the terrain he makes is he thinks he plays the game. So he makes terrain that he would like to see in the game. And I know that's a weird thing to say.
I want to bring something up, like that Wizard Ruins there. Wizard Ruins number 2. Scroll up.
Scroll up. Okay, Wizard Room number
Yeah.
1. Wizard Room. Naboo City. Wizard Room
Wizard
number
right
2.
there.
There's a few others that you saw when you're scrolling down. I want to say like that platform there in the middle. It is hard to find good centerpiece pieces for Legion terrain because you need a center point is so important
It's
in Legion
everything.
because
Yeah.
you need to interact with it in like key positions. Like it needs to be something you can run up and touch, but it also needs to be something that you can like put things on, like a middle box or hostages and stuff. And it has to actually work with all these different situations. Those kind of like cool platform pieces of terrain are exactly that.
Yeah.
They that's for sure.
It's many a person has done the accidental I'm gonna put a huge box right in the middle of the board so you can hide behind it, and then like it's like hostage exchange, and then the hostages are on like a height 3 like thing, they're just not getting off. Or like it's a height 2 and then like one guy brings Boba Fett and he's like like it's something that everybody can engage in. Now, to be said, I like having height 2 terrain around, so it gives like Mandos, stuff like that, something to do.
As a centerpiece?
Yeah, this is no, not as a centerpiece. As a like I put them in the side, or so if you get red and you're like, well, I'm playing like, I don't know, there's a guy at one of the locals I went to who played like triple Rebel Mando, and like first off, respect, because it wasn't just like Clan Ren, Sabine calling it, and he like it'd be nice for him to like get to do something cool besides like I used my jump 2 to jump over the barricade and move behind, like it's so. I don't like it in the center, but in a corner, it's good.
I want to do one more shout out to this, and you can see it in this set. All the 3D printers out there can see it, and I saw it too when I was looking through the other files of his. It looks like most, if not all, of his files look like they're made to print without supports.
Yeah.
And those who are familiar with 3D printing enough know that that is huge and is awesome. Some of the ships might need them just because of the extra detail, but like the terrain pats and stuff looks like they're good to go without supports, and that is huge.
Huge.
With a capital U.
Wizard Ruin. So check him out. He's a good friend of the podcast. And he's a fun guy to talk to too. Okay, so segue in. So
we had a perfect segue that we jumped off of.
No, look, it was good.
And then I had to ruin it.
No, you're fine.
Just wrecked.
It was
worth it though.
It was good because ZZ, like people like I love Skullforge. He's a partner of the 5th Trooper. And he's a super cool guy. If you haven't checked out his Patreon, check it out. But like ZZ, I don't think it's talked about enough. I mean, Skullforge deserves it. Like he does so many cool models and sculpts. He did like the whole like not Titanfall line that's like completely awesome, and like the Dune line, like he's crazy. Like it's sweet. Like I want to play a Dune miniature game now, and I was just gonna make up my own rules at this point, right? Like it's awesome. So and he deserves all the accolades he gets, but I don't hear enough about ZZM Armory because he does some really like solid stuff, and he's in the Discords and stuff, and he should get some recognition for that. But we've had 2. We're back to articles again. That's good.
Yep.
We're getting one a Tuesday. That's cool. Now I'm going to show you something though. If you're like, hey Evan, where'd you find that article?
I knew this was coming.
So actually, I was getting confused myself. So here's Atomic Mass website. You click here. So you click the 3 up in the upper right corner. You click the punch out, and then you go down to. Now it's not under Star Wars Transmissions. That's for X-Wing, and that's all the X-Wing. Which, if you're into that, rad. But where it actually is under Star Wars Legion documents, and you're not done yet. And then you go to Star Wars Legion's Transmissions. Then they're in there.
They really make you work for it.
Yeah, you really got to fish for it. And so they're there and they exist. And these are written by, I believe, LJ. I think he's the one who does it. And the William gentleman posted for him. And LJ does a great job. Shout out to LJ for bringing back articles, which were sorely needed. And like I like the mini extravaganzas. I like just big info dumps because we get to talk about it. It's like our water cooler moment where like you get to go with your friends and be like, oh my God, did you see like Grogu? You know, like whatever, like, oh God, Mando, right? So it's like when they did that stuff. But if you didn't watch it and you weren't like me, who was just like had the stream up and like Windows Shift S-ing it, like cutting out pictures and throwing them in my Discord, like it's nice to have an article to go back and just reference instead of having to stroll through like 8 hours of video hoping you caught the one time they mentioned Ahsoka. So thank you, LJ. Appreciate that. Okay, so we got the man himself, Mando.
Don't forget the child.
Oh, and the child, or the asset, or Grogu, or whatever. Like, so what I remember, there's like back when Mandalorian first came out, it was like at Disney when they're talking about Grogu, you either addressed it as like the child or the asset or something. Like they had to like, you couldn't, Baby Yoda was not like not on the table. Thank God that's kind of gone. So now we've got like choose your pick. But we got Grogu and Mando, which is awesome. For those who haven't seen his card, he works for, now this is, we have to say this now, Imperial or Rebel. He's got Arsenal 2, use 2 weapons, Bounty, Impervious, Independent, Aim 1 and Dodge 1, and Tactical 1. Vibro Knife, 2 black melee, Lethal 1. Remember that. And then his Din's modified IB-94 pistol, 1 to 2, 2 red and a black, lethal, long shot, and versatile. Also surge to hit, surge to crit, surge to defense, speed 2, red die, all the Mando stuff. Like I do like how every Mando has 5 hit points. That's just kind of, I think actually does. Now that I say that, does Gar have 6?
That is exactly what I was thinking. Does he have 6?
No, he has 5.
Oh, he's got 5. Huh.
Okay. I get, cool. At least it's thematic, like, or not thematic, but like, it's consistent.
His courage
he does
higher,
cheat
though.
on the Mando bit a little bit because he doesn't come with a jetpack.
It's weird though, right? So Gar is kind of like a guy, right? He's seen some stuff, and I get Mando is like also seen some stuff, like eaten by a great dragon and blue. Like I get it, but like, come on. Anyway,
that's actually a great Gar's courage too. But I've seen all the Clone Wars episodes and stuff with him in it. Not enough to get a grasp of his character to really make a judgment on that courage 2 or versus 3 or not. But
I'm a big proponent of, if you're not a generic, you should probably have 3. Just as like Rex having 2 is like criminal. He's Rex. Anyway, you actually another segue, another shout out. Dark Evan and Light Evan, myself. Dark Evan being Evan Paul from the 5th Trooper article fame. We went on to our buddy's podcast, the Inglorious Blasters, and we had a back and forth on, is Rex good or not? Inglorious or glorious? I won't spoil it. It should be out soon. But I had a hard time, and I was on the Rex is awesome train. It was just like, yeah, this other unit does it better, but like, come on, it's Rex. Like, come on.
Pros, come on.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
still hate going against him.
Well, yeah, right. Like it's Rex is just a mean dude, but yeah, I really think if you're like a commander,
As long as I can make sure it's not hostage.
Oh, dude, man, it's so good. He's like I will spoil one thing. One of my talking points was Rex is the only hero in the game. If you are a non-lightsaber list and you see hostage pop up and they have a lightsaber, you go, thank you, please. Yes, please take that. It will go fine for you, I swear. As you scout them up too, and then you're like, all right, you're in range of my whole army if you come after me. Like, let's go. But okay, cool. So like Mandos have 5, Sabine's got 5. That's just a neat little cool theme thing.
I remember too.
Yeah, Luke Eddy when I was talking to him back at Neo. This was 2019. I made mention. I'm like, hey, I like how your Mark II blaster, the one that's on the truck, the Rebel, the land speeder. Jeez, I was trying to remember. Anyway, I keep calling it the technical. It feels more rebelly. The land speeder is the same as other like versions of like the same as the Hoth Trooper Mark II. Like it's the same dice pool. Like so you're keeping consistency with the gun. So anytime I see a gun, I kind of know what to expect what the dice pool is going to be. And he says, yes, that's by design. So like an E11 blaster in the hands of like, one unit might be or like white, or it might be double white. They're better with it, but there's a consistent, like they try to keep the dice pools consistent with what kind of gun it is, or they used to. I don't know anymore.
And then
But
Padme showed up.
Yeah, then it's just then Padme and like I don't know, then things get wild. But they did show all of his cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of read down through these, and I'll let us each give a take on like a kind of a top thought. If I open this in new tab, I'm a big boy. I can. It's still okay. Well, so
We'll read it for you.
So we got the Mando's jetpack, 15 points. Increase your maximum
Well,
speed.
before we go too far, let's talk about the Mando's upgrade slots while we're still on the main card, because this is going to be important to the upgrades that you can take.
Yeah. Double training, one comm, double tech, and then one arsenal. I think that's called.
It's
or loadout.
Armament, I think.
Armament.
I don't know. One weapon.
One extra gun he can take. His other hand. He's got two hands, so this is his dual wielding option. Bang. So he can actually take two of these because they're all he can take actually both techs if you wanted to, and then one of the guns, either the spear or the ambam. The Gemalami, Rambablam. Anyway, Rambablam,
the
Black
Black
Betty,
Betty.
Ambabam. Yeah. So we'll start with the jetpack. Does the standard Mandalorian thing. Increase your maximum speed by 1, so he's a speed 3, and jump 2 for 15 points. It's pretty good. You'll probably be seeing that a lot. Beskar Spear, 2 red and a black. You gain Duelist. So if you're unfamiliar, because it's kind of a rare keyword, if you spend an aim to like do rerolls, you get Pierce 1. And if you spend a dodge on defense, you get Immune Pierce.
In melee.
In melee. Yeah, no, it's real. So remember that lethal 1 I told you to remember. If you're meleeing, yeah, you can do lethal, and you can do not with the same aim, but you can like double down because he has independent and you just aim.
I believe it is the same. Ooh, actually, I don't know. That's interesting because lethal or a duelist is in addition to the benefits you normally get.
Yeah. So would you?
When you spend the aim for lethal, does that count?
So that's a proc both? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, does one aim proc both?
Or do you have to re-roll dice to proc duelist?
Because it's
would it matter because it's just 2 individual keywords?
Yeah, they are separate. So
I don't know. Duelist is
because lethal is after you can spend it for Pierce, but duelist is while you're performing a melee attack, if you spend an aim to. So I think the timing's different. I think duelist is while performing the attack, you gain Pierce, and then lethal is
it's after you roll, right?
Yeah, after in the different phase.
Yeah.
If you want to look that up, Nick.
Yeah, I'll take a look because I think didn't that lethal get changed in the ARC troop because it used to be before, but now you had to do it before because
it used to be. Yeah, it was really crappy. You used to like. I mean, it was super good. You used to roll.
Changed to be. It sounds like it would be the same timing now.
You used to get to like after the rollout, you're like, I'm saving the aim until I see you roll dice. It's like,
like it used to be real.
So Beskar Spear, Din's Flame Projector, range 1 to melee, blast, spray, suppressive, 1 red per unit you shoot. So sorry droids, or hopefully Ewoks.
It is the kill of B1 squad button.
Nub a group of Ewoks. And then the Gemalami Ambablam rifle, 3 black in melee, Immobilize 2 suppressive, which is
deceiving a little bit because that's melee only.
yeah, that's if he gives you the tease. And so I'm gonna just read the effect of the gun. I'm not really gonna go into it. We can talk about it, but like there's a list of this is a really weirdly worded card. The Notorious Scoundrel last episode they just put out talks about like all the little shenanigans that can happen with this. If you skip to the end if you want that. But so both actions, so 2 actions. If you are not engaged, perform a speed 1 move, then choose an enemy unit in line of sight, roll 1 red attack die. If the result is either hit or crit, the chosen unit suffers 1 wound and gains 1 suppression token. So this is insane. Okay, we'll wait. I'm just reading the cards before I like get all tethered up about it. And the child, the asset, the Grogu counterpart, Din, hunted. When Grogu is defeated, places many of the unclaimed asset token. Grogu may never be restored. Each trooper unit gains claim the asset. At the end of the game, if an enemy trooper has claimed the asset objective token, that controlling player gains 1 victory token. So to note that this is each trooper unit gains claim the asset. So if you're like, why would I ever take him for the risk of giving them a point? Like, well, like you can grab it yourself. If like things go bad and he dies like a sniper or something, you can pick it up and then hide like you would with your button pusher squad or something. Like it's not like the end of the world. But Leo, latent power. All right, this is something. So at the end of your activation, you may gain 1 suppression token to roll 1 red defense dice. On a surge, choose an enemy unit at range 1 of this mini. So it's at the mini, remember, so you can kind of like have Mando behind a wall and then Grogu like around the corner. And because he's got the small key where he can't be targeted by attacks, except the Ambam rifle,
Right.
to that, you can disintegrate Grogu. But range 1 of this mini, the chosen unit gains 2 suppression and 2 immobilize tokens, which is like imagine like thinking your Vader was safe. Or like Maul or somebody, you run him up, then he just gets like tased by Grogu, and then like comes around the Beskar spear and just gives you the stab. On a blank result, remove a wound or poison token from a friendly non-droid trooper unit at range 1 of this mini. So there's a chance if your dice roll like mine, you'll get a heal every game, or at least every turn. Maybe it depends on what my dice are feeling like doing. But a 50-50 for a good result is something. You also get the hand thing. So this card is not a command card. Well, it is, but you don't ever play it in the command phase. Yeah. 1 friendly unit at range 1 and line of sight of Grogu is declared as defender against a ranged attack. You may discard this card from your hand. If you do, the defending unit gains 2 dodge tokens and gains deflect during this attack. That's awesome.
That's really good.
That is pretty good. There is something scroll up for your set to Grogu's card. Something I want to point out. It's not entirely obvious that Mando is Rebel and Empire.
Mhm.
Grogu is not.
Correct.
Grogu is Rebel only.
Which is correct. I'd be real. Real upset.
It's entirely obvious,
but which is good. But hand thing, neat. Okay. My body is dying. Okay. This way. This is the way. Yeah, enhance. This is the way. Din Djarin gains 1 dodge token and relentless. So you know what? This is a cool command card because it's just easy to understand. It's a 1 pip.
Right.
Yep.
You get a cool ability. You get a token. No block of text. No like.
And it's a powerful, useful ability.
Yes.
But it's concise, it's easy,
straightforward.
Yeah, no, that's good, right? Like Lando's 1 pip, really like it's so wordy, and it doesn't. I don't know if it needs, like, it's crazy, right? It's like a huge like essay you have to read about like getting an extra command, like a aim and a dodge for each pip you have in your graveyard. So like I like that. I like this. You get more art in the card. I'm really excited for when they do like if OP does like the full arts. So when you see full arts in these old cards, they don't really do them anymore on the command cards, but they used to, where they would shrink the word down to like a smaller part of the card and you get more art, and they'd kind of get rid of
Got
the
'em
top.
somewhere.
They'd kind of get rid of some of the top art too, just to make it like a full art card. So I'm excited to see those because this art's awesome. This is like, I get this awesome like 90s vibe from it. I don't know. It's the millennial in me, I guess.
Here's an older one.
It's like the John Wick of Star Wars.
Yeah,
My
right. Yeah,
screen's pulling through it, but yeah, it like pulls the text down a little bit.
Yeah, it
it's
just makes it,
zoomed
like-
in a little on the art. Like there's some cool stuff to
And,
do,
like-
and it's a little different for each set.
so before we get too much farther into this, I'm always going to be fine if a named character is cool, if he's like nuts, like, because if your favorite character is the Mandalorian, you should be jazzed that he's A, in the game, and B, he's cool, he's good, like he feels like a powerful piece. That's why like Commander Vader used to stink. It was like, oh, speed 1 before burst of speed, you're like, guess I'll just hobble along, and then like, like a tank or something gets in the way if you can't move past it, you're like, guess old Lord of the Sith here will just have to sit and wait, like, and so like I'll never be mad when people are like, oh man, Maul's really good, Maul's too good. I'm like, dude, it's Maul, it's fine. Like, what's not okay is when like generic rebel commander becomes too good. Like then I'm like, well, who the hell is that guy, right? Like or like I really don't like when it's just like so an X-Wing had the problem of a list that was really good was like Nim Miranda, and Nim was from a Xbox game. He was in the Skirg bomber, and you played as him and he did some bombing runs. Not super popular. It was like Jedi fighter, I think. So okay, I'll give you like half a point that Nim is somebody people care about. No one cared about Miranda. She was in a K-Wing. She was in the book for like 15 minutes and then she blew up. So
Right.
it's like, and then she's ruling the game, right? And it's like, and there are these two obscure ships that on a table, you don't even know you're playing X-Wing. It's just like there's no Star Wars. They don't look like Star Wars ships. They're just these two nobody like. So if everyone's playing Mando and I get to go to a comic store and see everyone like Mando and Grogu, like that's how you get new people. And like, oh hey, is that the Mandalorian? You're like, yeah, he's awesome. Like he plays in these two, play Rebel or Empire. Like that's how you get people, because people want to play the cool characters. Like,
Right.
like it's I don't want to play double generic clone commander. I want to play like Rex and Cody, right? Like I want to. Anyway, sorry. It's the Seagrams talking. It's the Blue Raspberry
It wouldn't be a
Seagrams.
podcast without a few Evan rants thrown in
Well, I
there.
think if you're gonna make something thematic, like make it thematic, like if you're, because I feel like that's what they preach a lot, right? That
Yeah.
whenever they're considering what they're gonna throw out there, it's all about that thematic thing.
Yeah, no, and it
Like-
should feel cool. Like
Yeah.
your favorite character should feel fun to play, and you should never be like Grievous is kind of in a weird spot right now, where it's like, if you look at the old Tarkovsky cartoons, like Grievous is like this man-eating machine, right? Like he just there's like a whole clone platoon couldn't stop him. And this, it's like he gets shot at twice by a mortar, and then he might get a feels bad and run away. Like he gets the big sad, panics and goes like, okay, thanks. Anyway, I like those odds. Another great scene. So another point to the Mandalorian. Your first question may be, where's the Darksaber? And they actually addressed this in the stream. They go, hey, when we designed the Mandalorian, they didn't talk about season 2 yet. So they gave us season 1. We made the Mandalorian from what they said he would have. And then season 2 came out and they go, oops. And it's actually another, because this is kind of a track record for LFL with the Fang fighter, Fen Rao's fighter in is Starfighter in I think it was in Clone Wars and Rebels maybe. It's actually the wings spin around the center cockpit, but all the art they had when they designed the ship to the model, it did not look moving. It didn't look like it moved, it was just flat. So when they made the model, they just made it like flat, and then they're watching the show, and the Fang fighter shows up and starts doing the spin. They go, oh, God damn it. So that's why they released it in 2.0 is one of the first ships with a spinning like wing thing because like they didn't know they didn't get the art, so it's it's cool that they give these designers a heads up, but maybe like a little paragraph about it wouldn't hurt either. Like, hey, we'd like to see him do this. I like those odds. I said it like 4 times now. Surprisingly, it just goes to the Mandalorian. Din gains 1 aim token. Cool. After Din performs an attack action, he may perform an additional attack against a different unit. Again, cool,
Yeah.
easy to understand. It gets
gunslinger that sort of works if you're in a dogpile melee or half.
Yeah, it's good. They're gonna probably need a fact on it or two, just to like clarify, like they did with Son of Skywalker, like how this like works. But the way I would read it is, I can punch somebody and I can shoot somebody because I have versatile in my pistol, or I can shoot 2 different guys. Then that's it, right?
Or
like
if you're in melee with 2 different units, you could double punch, I guess.
Oh yeah, there we go. So and it's an attack action, so you can arsenal both those, I believe. The way I'm reading, because it's 2 different like.
Yes.
Whistling Bird. So this was the one that they showed that is real good. It's his character's like, the design philosophy felt like, hey, we want to make mortal wounds in Legion. How do we do that? And mortal wounds are, if you're not familiar with those in 40K and Age of Sigmar, are wounds you just take. You don't roll die, you just eat it.
Yeah, like from your perspective, mortal wounds are wounds that there is no save against.
Yeah, they're like
if the attacking player rolls what they need, you're taking the wound, and so that's tough.
So during his activation, Din gains an action. So interesting about this, it is an action to do this. You could suppress him down. It's not like a free attack where he can just do it. So if he's not in range, he has to move to do it, he can't. It's not like a free thing. Though any Mando guy who's playing Mando is probably buried in your lines anyway. So you're just sighing as you see the card hit the table, like, okay, I guess. So choose up to 3 enemy units at range 1 and in line of sight. For each chosen unit, roll 1 white attack die. For each mini in that unit suffers 1 wound for each hit, crit, and surge. So
that's real nasty.
Yeah, dude,
this
oh my gosh.
All right, so essentially, there's white attack dice, so there are 3 positive results out of 8 you're looking for, so that is 37.5%. So about a third. Basically that just says kill 1/3 of up to 3 units within range 1 of Mandalorian of Din Djarin.
It's now there's 2 worlds that can happen here. There's a world you're like, yeah, whistling bird. You slap it down and you roll nothing. And you go, and then you go, okay. And there's another world where you slap it down and you're like 6, 6, 6, right? You're just like, you spike, and the other guy goes, right? Like I don't know, like I don't know who this card, like normally when you play a card, either you want your opponent to feel nervous or bad, like Master of Evil, right? It doesn't really make Vader feel good, it makes the other guy feel bad. When you play like This Is the Way, it makes you feel good because you get to do some cool stuff. This is one of those weird cards where I don't, if it could, like, because the dice are so swingy on it. I think there's going to be a world where there's going to be, I'm gonna say this. There's going to be a world where on stream, someone's going to make someone have a real bad day, and you're going to see it, and you're going to see one guy just pick up like 20 droids, you know, and just like throw them in a trash can, like.
I'm not actually. I don't think this is going to be that scary against droids, and I mean battle droids anyway. I think this is going to like ruin the day of the like elite hard to kill units, though. Like Mad Nagar that got hit by this are going to be sad. pikes that get hit
Ooh.
by this are going to be real sad. Black Suns are
Never
going to be
mind.
real
I feel
sad.
pretty good about that. Actually, yeah, Black Suns, pikes, and anything with 2
Clones
hit
are going to
points.
feel even sadder.
Actually, like Wookiees, Imperial
Wookiee,
Guard, and they don't really
Wookiees, I don't
care.
think it'll do too much to.
He might kill a Wookiee. You're like, all right.
Maybe, like maybe you'll kill a Wookiee because it's the bypassing the armor that's really
Yeah.
big. So like and armor and dodges and stuff. It's like, oh well, your pikes are unkillable. Well, now they are. Half the
They
squad's
sure
dead.
are.
And
Like-
if you don't end up killing things, at least you soften up units, then
Yeah.
you can have Dubex come from the back.
And also, it's worth
Mhm.
noting this is not
Absolutely.
a ranged attack.
No.
So Mando can do a speed 3 move, tag somebody in melee, and just start whistling at people.
Yeah, it's this expansion is full of like not attacks, right? Like the Ambam rifle actually isn't an attack. It's
Yes,
just
and
take a wound.
there's a lot of odd things with that.
Yeah. And so okay. We'll get into it a
So
little bit. I'm just gonna
there's
preference
one that I
Yeah.
want to bring up about the Ambam rifle.
just a sec. 1
go
second.
ahead.
So I just want to preference that I don't fault them for trying something new, for trying a cool ability. Because we're going to talk about all the weird stuff it does just a little bit, but like I won't fault them
okay.
for like trying to do something different, because you have to create design space. But maybe run it by a few people. But go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
Well, if we're talking about the one that strikes at my head is, so for the longtime Legion players in us, we remember the days of the sniper wars,
Sure do.
and they're still a pretty important unit in a lot of lists, the sniper team, and it's
Coming
been
back.
the main like play with the sniper team is that you put the spotter out, or you put the sniper out, and because he's the squad leader but also the heavy weapon guy, he's the only one that needs to be out to be seen. The other guy can hide around a corner, and then when the leader dies, he replaces the guy that he turns into the guy that was hiding around the corner, and you're safe. Your squad can't be wiped. Your little 2-man squad. This doesn't. This shoots through the wall and kills the spotter, and the sniper is now stuck out in the open to be picked off again. And that's which, to be fair, I don't like the sniper peeking. I think that's a really weird, unintuitive rules mechanic, and it feels very gamey. But it's become almost so like ingrained in me now that it's like the thing you do, that suddenly then it feels like this is an odd exception to get around it, when I think there should be some sort of rules change to get around it and change that.
No,
but
I agree.
it feels weird the fix is on one guy.
Yeah, and like, look, it's a disintegration rifle. It's the first time in the game we've had a disintegration weapon, and it's the first time like Star Wars we've seen it really. Because the one time we had it, no disintegration, and then like everyone's like, shucks. So we've had maybe disintegration's in the game now, and maybe it just deals mortal wounds. Like, you don't like your armor on a stormtrooper doesn't protect you from being atomized. Like, okay, I don't know, like, I guess. But all right, so Ramone, what are your overall Mando thoughts? And floor is yours.
So I don't know. I'm a huge fan of melee. So I'm gonna be throwing this dude in melee, like right off the bat. I'm gonna be throwing, situational awareness in there with tenacity.
Can I jump
relay.
in real quick? There's something I forgot to mention. So I did, while we were doing that, I did do some research on the duelist keyword. The duelist keyword, it specifies you have to spend 1 or more aim tokens during the roll attack dice step.
Okay.
So I believe that is out of timing for lethal.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
you need
two individual ones.
Yeah.
So you're okay. So you want situational? You said.
Yeah. Situational tenacity.
Ooh, okay.
Comms relay.
Okay.
Take advantage of that independent. The jetpack for sure.
Absolutely.
the flame projector, and I was thinking the Beskar spear. I haven't really done much research on the other one, but
yeah. So honestly, any way you build Mando right now, I don't think is wrong.
Yeah.
Like I think he's got such a solid body on him. His pistol long shot, like maybe there's a time you're just like, I'm gonna aim, get my free aim for independent. I'm just gonna aim and shoot, spend this to make it range 3, spend it for lethal. Like he can just pick shots, like that's not bad. So the
he's very flexible.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's and I like that he's okay. So the Zach Matthews of Carolina Crates renown, he put a thought in the chat a while ago, and I've been thinking about it for a while. To your point of being, this looks like a really cool melee unit. Is Mando a see how much we need to do to make a melee unit good without it having force push? Is that like are they taking the dial and just like, because it's in melee, like if you have, it's not hard to get 2 aims on him. Either you like move in with Relentless, his this is the way, right? You take an aim, move in, he has independence, he's got 2, and you stab somebody. It's Pierce 2. That's really good. And it's 2 red and a black, and then 2 black. So we actually have a nice little dice roller here. So 2 red and then a black and then 2 black, and bam, and that's 5 hits. Right? Like, I mean, this was high, but even you can spend that to reroll 2 and then get 4 with lethal in Pierce.
With I don't think that independent aim is necessarily a guarantee though, because timing is so important on units you're trying to get into melee that I think the order is probably worth it.
With speed 3 and jump 2, I think you can put them in positions where it's like
there's times, but I mean more like having to save them, and so they're not just gonna withdraw.
I'm sorry.
And then
He's also got tactical. I forgot. So
tactical.
Yeah, so you move up and stab somebody, and that's an aim for independent. Or if you don't take independent, you get an aim for moving. And then you take
with
an aim
the one
stab.
tip you can do it for the double aim.
Like so
like regardless is gonna have that aim.
Yeah, right. So Beskar Spear, I don't think is bad. I actually think it's pretty good. But dude, this
I think I'm all about the MM rifle.
The Bam Blam.
The Bam Blam. For a couple things. One, suppressive is actually a pretty nice thing to have in your pocket. Not to just like pile up the suppression on. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna run from me. But like to be able to poke off standbys in melee is not something a lot of people can do.
Sorry, Obi.
Yeah.
Don't lose that roll off, Obi. It's not going to be good, man.
I mean, a lot of people will try to stand by you in melee. If you don't have force push to get rid of it or something like that. That is rare.
Also,
Grievous would love to have that.
And
Immobilized 2 is huge. And the dice pool's not much worse.
Yeah, with search to crit. I think either one is good. Because they said specifically they want to make him a brawler. Like in the show, he's always like punching and stabbing and like pistol shooting. He's not really like the sniper. He like once, and we got that great Grogu meme. Yes, die trash. Like so
the cathartic release of vaporizing Jawas.
Yes, eat it, trash. So I think actually no, it's funny. I was gonna do, instead of situational, my build was Hunter. And then then I actually had I did the Beskar Spear, and then I did Grogu too, because I'm a sucker. And getting him in melee with Grogu is a bad idea, because if you dive real deep and then he just dies and the guy goes whoop, a free victory point, that's gonna feel bad. But I just I have to.
I don't think I'll ever be playing Grogu. I'm super biased to the Empire. So
oh yeah. Then if you're Empire, well, it's like that's your only drawback though. It's like no Grogu. You're like, okay. All right. I'll just, me and
I'll take someone else's Grogu.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you stab that Mando because he didn't bring the spear. Sorry. Oh my god, that's a funny counterplay. Because the spear, your spear gives you duelist. His spear, his gun won't. So if they're going gun, they shoot you once, you're like, okay, thanks for the tenacity. And you're just like, oh, that's right, it's tenacity too. I didn't even have that in. So it's like, so what, like 3 red, 3 black.
Yeah,
that's
3 black. I mean, it's respectable. It's not anything too crazy.
that's better than Obi-Wan's lightsaber. That's better than Obi-Wan's lightsaber, which is yeah. Tell me it's not Surge to crit.
Pierce 2 natively.
Yeah. Well,
Pierce 2?
natively, it's not hard to get Pierce 2 here. This isn't like it's not that,
On the
especially with
spear?
Bennett, like, yeah, man, like, oh, my boy. No, this is, you can hit 6 pretty easily with this. I think Obi,
Also,
my boy.
I'm still giving it to Obi.
Oh man, I don't know. Surge to hit, surge to defense. I don't need like dodge. Oof. All I'm saying is, man, if I saw you charge my Obi with like Spear Mando, I'm gonna be real sad about it. And then maybe I get out of it, but I'm not gonna be happy. Oh, then dear God, if they have Grogu and they tase me while I'm in melee, I'm like, yo, this is just getting worse. What's going on? Like, why is that little green goblin shooting lightning out of his hands? But yeah, I mean, like, I think I built a like a him, Sabine, Clan Ren list, and I hit like 10 acts, and I was like, I guess I'll take a couple sniper. I was like kind of just adding stuff in. Or him and dude, Rebels can take double bounty now. We'll get to IG-11 in a minute, but yeah, you can have double bounty in Rebels, which is kind of wild. It's
So let's hit those IG droids.
yeah, I'm used to think bounty was just like a Imperial thing, but all right. So we'll start with Ye Old 88. Check out an MC Chris song called IG-88's 87 Chevy, I think. Excellent. Top tier. IG-88, Imperial only. Cool. Armor 1, pretty bog standard for like super battle droid. Arsenal 2, cool. Bounty, righteous, impervious. Sure. I'm not searching red dice. I was like, okay. Sharpshooter 1, cool. 110 points. Wow, my brain. Training, comms, and tech. 5 health, 2 courage, surge to crit, moves to red defense dice. And he's got 3 weapons. So he's got his vibro cleaver, which it's a rainbow. It's okay. Pierce 1.
It's got Pierce. You can slap
Probably
somebody that tries to get a little too close, maybe.
yeah, you'll probably hit 2 and then get Pierce 1. Modified E11 blaster. So black, white, 1 to 3, Pierce 1 versatile. Versatile is a cool keyword that's starting to get some play again. And then his DLT 20A rifle. 1 to 4, 2 black and white. So with Arsenal 2, yeah, range 3, you're shooting 3 black, 3 white, surge crit, Pierce 1, sharpshooter 1, which is like,
That is a hell of a pool.
yeah, that's actually real mean. In his cards, the 2 IG-88, yes, before I get to, the 2 IG-8 specific ones are focused on the kill, permanent, while IG-80, so it's permanent, so that's interesting. Yeah, that's super cool. While IG-88 is performing an attack against a unit that has a target of a bounty keyword, so if you do double bounty, you get double your fun. That unit cannot spend tokens. If IG-88 wounds, which is like
just cripples things.
Yeah, ooh, like that's your whole kit as a Jedi to like spend that 1 dodge to get 3 up.
Or clones.
Yeah, or get 2. I forgot. Like, sorry, generic clone commander, your time has come. I'll one-shot you. While IG-88 has wounds, if IG-88 has wounds equal to or exceeding his wound threshold, he is not defeated until the start of the end phase. So this is a little confusing because a Legion thing is you can't ever have more wounds than you have hit points. So you can't that's why stims exists. So if you take 2 more, you throw it on stims and then they trickle back onto you. So there's a world. Actually, since this is permanent, there's a couple weird things you can do. Let's say he gets 5, and he's like, you don't have to worry about him till the end of the phase, right? So you think he's dead. Well, you run up with Dell, and you pull 2 off, and he's not dead, because it's the start of the end phase that he actually like goes down. And I'm not. They'll need a FAQ on this just because, like I said, you can't really put more wounds until this point. Maybe they change it. They do have an if clause in here. If IJDA has wounds equal to or exceeding his wound threshold. So I think the spirit of the card is let's say he takes 10 wounds, you just put 10 wounds on him, and then he eats them all. I kind of wish they had just done a stims wording here where you take the wounds, you put them on this card, and at the end they come back on him. It's just to make it easier to understand. But yeah, so since it's permanent, he can take 5 like every turn if you don't get more on him, and you can go up and just pull, like heal him off, which is kind of crazy. You get 6 on there, you're like, I got 3 heal bots. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Guess who's back, baby? So that's, I mean, it's cool. It should be, he's IG-88. I remember one of the first times I was ever like scared in a video game was in Shadows of the Empire, and you're Dash Rendar and you're in that maze and IG-88's hunting you. And like, I didn't know, I was really bad at the game. So when he showed up, I'd like scream because I couldn't kill him. I'm like, oh God, it's IG-88. So like, I see him like, now I'm playing Legion and he just shows up around a corner and I can't kill him. And I'm like, oh God, it's happening again.
Re-traumatized once again.
Yeah, dude, no. My nightmares. So his 2 pip, he's got 2 pips. So 1 and 2 2s. His IG-88 specific one is independent programming. That's this whole point about IG-88. He's sentient, and he's trying to make an army of droids. So it's cool that he gets this card. Permanent, which is cool. That's the thing for him. Each time IG-88 issues an order to himself, he gains 1 aim token. So that's cool. So he gets was it ready?
Tactical 1?
Yep, tactical 1.
It's target.
Target, sorry, yeah.
There's a little bit of a clause in there because target would be if he got it from anywhere. This has to be him giving it to himself.
So you'd play this probably early just to get it out. But yeah, so target 1. Yeah, that's right. It's what shorts have.
Yeah.
And then IG-88 gains independent dodge. So if he doesn't have a token, he gets a dodge. Okay, again, easy card. Just you get this ability, get this other ability, done. And so we're gonna skip IG-11 just for a minute, and we'll go over the other IG-88 card. A machine made for killing. So this goes to either 11 or 88. You must nominate 11 or 88. The nominated IG unit gains 1 aim token, demoralize 3 and steady. That's a lot. So man, super good. Because you can demoralize, you can spread out 1 to everybody, or like 1 to 3 targets, or all on 1, I think. I think demoralize is like the numbers, how many you can
It's the
hand
reverse
out.
of inspire, and inspire you can
Split it
choose.
up. So you can make one guy real sad, and then kill him. So that's kind of wild. But so he's pretty solid. So 11, which is 11's real good. Armor 1, so he's got gunslinger to the arsenal to represent the scene from the Mandalorian where he's just like popping off. Impervious, programmed, he has to take a programming. Sharpshooter 1. Overpower is 4 red, which bums me out because my boy IG-88 just gets this little rainbow meat cleaver. And this guy's just clubbing you with it. He's got the same thing that K2SO has, I'm gonna just bonk you.
The slap.
And so his 2 guns are the same guns, except his E11 blaster doesn't have versatile. It's just Pierce 1. That will matter shortly more. So his programming, the nanny programming, which is funny, but I'm sad I can't have him on a bike. IG, like, look, if we're gonna do it, I'm just saying, they put the art on. That was a fun scene. Like, come on. Nanny programming, IG-11 only, rebel only. While building an army, Grogu gains counterpart IG-11. IG-11 gains AI dodge move. So he gains AI, which is interesting. He keeps Grogu alive. So I wonder if there's ever a world where like that's like a play to do. I don't see it, but there's gonna be somebody out there, some mastermind who like they're gonna win like nationals, and it's gonna be like, oh, my nanny programming really saved the day. But
Yeah, it doesn't seem to.
And it doesn't work for
Grogu
anyone
is-
else but that one person.
yeah,
Grogu
right. Yeah, it
is-
just never
is
tries and
neat.
fails.
I don't know if I'm giving up bounty programming to bring Grogu.
Oh, dude. The problem is bounty programming is like,
Family program is where it's at.
holy crap. Like, so he's playing Guess Who right now, by the way. So, okay. You think of it like this. He plays like Flappy Bird on an app, then he just gets like more of a killing machine than IG-88, which is a point of contention for me. But okay, IG-11 only. So Imperial, he can, because this one could be Imperial or Rebel, whereas
Right.
IG is only Imperial. You gain Bounty, which if that was just alone, that's still worth taking. But you gain and AI aim attack. So that's big because you have independent, like you have to becomes a robot, but his dice pool is so good, like okay.
I as a recovering spider player, I can tell you the AI aim can hose you at times, especially when
hope
you don't
so.
have a super tack there to keep them in line.
Because this gets worse. I mean, it gets better, but it gets like the card text keeps going. If it had stopped there, probably chef's kiss. If you choose commander as the target of the bounty, your weapons gain pierce 1. So weapons,
That's big.
the whole shebang. So that
Yeah.
E11 blaster is pierce 2. I think that's the first pierce 2 ranged weapon we have seen. Not including that like one super card from
Han and Luke.
Leia. Han and Luke, I guess, but that's range 1 to 2, not 3.
Yeah, up to range 3
Mhm.
is new.
And if you
Isn't
combine
that
it,
strong of a die pool, but
no, but your D20, your DLT 20A.
that's actually what I'm kind of more scared about. The range
Yeah.
4 with a stronger dice pool and Pierce 1. Like,
That's pretty good, and his
That's gonna
overpower
pop some
gains
people.
Pierce 1. It's like a one of those small lightsabers from not Fallen Order. Nice to Old Republic, where you got your big one and your small one. So when you're dual
Yeah.
wielding it, it's like, but like that's more or less what he just takes out and like gets you. So that's actually insane, and we'll get to some of his cards later. But if you choose operative as the target of the bounty, your weapons gain suppressive. So with Gunslinger, that's still good because with the range 4, you're like, and you get 2 and you get 2. And then if
Yeah.
you double down like Bosk, you're like, and he gets another 2. Like that's
you
a
can
lot.
really love
but,
it up.
but
And
yo,
then there's mortars and everywhere, and like,
yeah, maybe the leaders of the 501st doesn't seem too bad right now in that one. Like you're gonna get completely buried in suppression. Okay, the 2 IG cards. Okay, Mechanical Carnage. IG-11 loses Gunslinger. The first time IG-11 declares an attack action during his activation, instead of attacking normally, he performs 1 attack against each enemy target at range 2. Like, real good. So now it is specifically range 2, so it's not range 1, which I like, because if it was range 1 to 2, I'm like, okay, just
Yeah.
I guess just do whatever you want this turn. That's fine.
Right.
But so him going around with Pierce 1 though, like, I mean, okay. Am I upset that they're recreating a scene from the show? Absolutely not. Please, that's why I'm here. I make Star Wars noises. I make quotes. That's just why I'm here, right? If this was generic space game, I wouldn't even be looking at it, right? So, it's to get to do that like cool like spin shot thing. I'm in, but with Pierce 1, that's a hell of a shot. And then anti-capture protocols. I am a little bummed that they didn't pull like a Malifaux thing where it's like if you have Din in your party, you can tell him to like not blow up. Like if you're within range 1 of Din can say stop it, and then he doesn't pop. That would have been a cool little theme thing. So when building a command hand, if your army includes IG-11, this card must be included. So you have to take it. This is a first where normally you like probably had to take most people's cards anyway because you didn't have a whole lot. But this is you have to. So it makes Lando's value go up, being like, okay, but I'm going to put my good thing in contingencies. At the end of IG-11's activation, if he has 3 or more wounds, he performs an attack with the following weapon. So this symbol, it's really hard to see, and it looks very much like melee. It's a self-destruct icon, which I hate that it's so similar to melee. Just make it an X or something. I don't know. Don't do that. But it's hard to tell, but it's self-destruct. 3 red, 2 black, blast, impact 3 suppressive, and pierce 1 if you chose commander. So he just like blows up and like but that
blows up harder.
I'm really like digging this card.
Dude, it's
like this card is like, I'm gonna die, so I might as well do some damage. So instead of running with this unit and hiding it for the rest of the game.
I have a bit of an issue. IG-11's, I mean, maybe with his melee attack, but with his piercing guns, he seems like someone I kind of want to be shooting with. But his cards, like that, the 1 pip, he really, they're really close.
But that bomb, you're right. It's like a lot of times you'll run for points. That's why I don't like MOV. Because you play the game a little bit differently, right? Like you're hiding points kind of thing. But this is not, man. Push W pushed. Let's go. All right. And then you play it because it becomes like chicken. Like you move him up, you're like, shoot him. Like you play this card, and if let's say you're at 2 wounds, you're like, do I just let him do whatever he wants this turn? I'm like, you do, or else it gets real bad. Because I've had a spider droid blow up on me before. That's miserable. That was real bad. So to have this guy jump in my line and then like hold me hostage for a turn, like I don't like that. Not one bit. So yeah, these robots are they're pretty good. Now, again, my only gripe with the 2 is I feel 11's a little bit better than 88.
I'm on the other team.
You think 88's better?
I think that range 3 attack pool in 88 is monstrous.
It's pretty good. But they're both good. Like
they are both good.
This is another good expansion where I have to think about it. It's not just an auto choice, where I'm not just like, oh yeah, no, 88, like hands down, no argument, no, yeah, he's just better. This is like they could be both. Like, what do you think, Ramone? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I really like IG-11 just simply because of all that suppressive stuff. Mainly because the list that I already have prepped is the suppressive list. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh man. All right. You know what? Nick, what are your overthoughts here?
My overthoughts. I do think I'm interested to see like what 11 can do when he's running around. It's like almost like a Wookiee. Like you're just going for that 4 red pierce 1, just trying to like punch people in the face.
Punch and then like explode when like he gets.
I think it's going to be difficult though. It's probably going to be pretty difficult to keep getting him orders consistently, and he's going to be on AI aim attack if he's not. That's kind of a weird disconnect. So I don't know. I don't know how you'll actually be able to implement that.
It's
so my guess is I think 88 is going to be a lot simpler to use. He's just going to sit back and shoot something really, really hard.
I do like that he doesn't have AI.
Yeah, you don't get
straddled AI, which is cool.
It'll definitely take more strategy.
Yeah.
11.
Though I am okay. So another point of like a gripe I have is not actually anything. These are fine. Both these guys look good. I like how their hit points kind of lower. You might, there's a world where maybe you 1 or 2 shot them sometimes if things just go bad. Like it's not like
that's real bad with armor.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, the way dice pools are forming these days. Like, have you seen Black Sunset with a frag grenade? Like, here's 12. Good luck. But so in X-Wing, all the IG ships, you can play 3 of them now. When they all have linked like targeting, so they all get to like share abilities with each other. I'm a little bummed that like they don't have teamwork. That's a lot. It'd be too much. It'd be a ton. But like, since he's IG-80, he's the IG unit. He doesn't have like some like backdoor like remote robot magic to 11 because he's just another one of 11, right? So maybe someday they'll release like a programming that's like, IG-88's master plan or something, and he gets like teamwork with him. I don't know. That's my only like thematic gripe is like I would have liked to have seen some sort of teamwork with him, because not even because IG-11 wants to. He doesn't care. He's a robot. Like he's just a mindless kind of droid. But IG-88 knows what's up. So, but what's nice is because they gave him the AI, they could always just release a print and play card too. Like, here's this thing. So, my dream isn't smushed yet of having just like my IG army of angry murder droids. But yeah, we'll jump to your list actually, Ramon. What do we got here? We'll build it on stream here.
So I got an Imperial officer.
Okay. Empire.
Yep.
We got a Gen. Okay.
Underworld connections with it.
Yep.
IG-11.
Okay.
Din.
Okay.
2 shores, 2 mortars, and triple do.
Triple do. I love it. Love to see it.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but it just sounds fun. I like to play stupid things all the time.
Oh, hey man. No, okay. So you've got
You got
that's
150 points of sauce here.
So
so IG-11 will have bounty programming.
Nanny
obviously.
protocols. What?
No way.
Full in nanny.
Offensive push and
Okay.
emergency transponder.
Okay, offensive push. Emergency transponder is actually not bad on him. All right, what do we got for old Din?
It's gonna be tenacity.
Yep.
Situational awareness, comms relay, the jetpack,
Yep.
his flame projector, and
Yep.
the Beskar spear.
Got it.
And then shorts are gonna have the T-21s,
Okay.
naked mortars, and 2 of the dewbacks will have tenacity
Okay.
and the T-21s on all of them.
On all of them? Sounds
Yep.
good. T21. 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 Okay. I wonder if there's a world where you put in Dell.
Dell.
Probably not, huh? Because that repair 2 on that.
It's IG-88 is the one.
Yeah, I'm
that's
thinking, okay.
the-
I'm thinking IG-88. All right. Yeah, if you're going for a full suppression. Yeah, I was thinking Dell,
Yeah.
because if you do the focus on the kill and you're about to die, Dell runs up and goes like, nah, man, you're good. Yeah, let me just suck. Like, there you go.
Right.
You can pull that off.
That'd be pretty nasty.
So this is actually like 10x. Yeah, dude, you got what I like about the list is you actually get cool stuff to play with. It's not like there are times when you're building a list and you're like have to really thin it out to get what you want to do. And maybe you have like one piece that's cool, like Vader or something, and the rest kind of has to like suffer because he's so many points.
Right.
You get
Yeah.
2
There's
cool characters.
No real
and-
dead acts here. Aside, well, the officer.
Yeah,
The officer
but-
hides and throws an aim to IG-11 or something.
Yeah. Right. Like if your worst case scenario is your officer, but it still gets to do something, it's not a button pusher squad. That's just like sometimes they just do nothing. And you have to do the dodge standby, I guess. Right. Like let's see, it's hide. So this actually is pretty good.
I will say, because I'm a sucker for having all of my units be the same thing. If you swap the spear for the Bambalam,
Mhm.
You could get that other tenacity.
yeah, you could go triple do back all the same.
Ooh,
Ooh, Bambalam.
okay, yeah.
I mean, like you get 2 points then. You get you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that, you get that bid. Actually,
That might get you
That's
blue
probably
in some
way
spots,
better.
too.
yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
And
probably
then
where it's at.
Bam Blam is like if he goes in there to melee, you got suppressive there too.
Yeah, and if you
Mhm.
stumble across any sniper
Yeah.
heavy lists that might trouble you or something, well,
Dude.
you got an
And
answer in your
so-
pocket.
Okay, a couple of things the Jamalami Ambam rifle can do. As of right now, until an FAQ comes out that maybe says what they want it to do, you can shoot a unit inside a close transport. You can shoot someone in melee. You can shoot someone out of melee. You can what else? You can shoot through limited viz because it's not an attack, it's just an
Yeah.
action. So if you take limited viz, you still like pop someone off.
Right.
There's a couple other like wacky things you can do. The biggest is shooting someone in melee. So like Palp, poor Palp, man. He's like, he finally got to
So-
see a little like light of day
Yeah,
with
there's
burst of
it
speed.
gets around all guardian. Like there's nothing, just like nope. just
Oh,
bam.
there's no defensive tech. You just, and okay, sometimes in Legion, you just roll really well, and the other guy just can't kill anything, or vice versa. You roll huge rolls, and they roll out of everything, and it's just how the dice go, right? Like
Yep.
swings. And am I opposed to auto wound things? No. Force choke's been around, right? Force choke's been around forever, though that takes a little bit more of a commitment to like run up and like,
Yeah.
you know, choke. It's a little bit scarier, but force choke is also a massive feels bad when you're like, choke your heavy, next turn, choke the other heavy. I've gutted your army. You know, like it's it can feel real not good. It's this. I mean, I'm sure we'll get a fact of what can and can't. I'm waiting for when it launches. I'm sure LJ, being the champion that he is, will put out a forum post like, hey, this is the intent. Because there's always rules as intent and then rules as written. And it's sad that we live in a world where we can't just like, you know, get along
You're saying that.
sometimes.
All I'm picturing now is IG11, or I in my case, 88, running up and putting 3 wounds in R2D2, and then Din just sitting back there and like, oh, I can't target you with my gun. Too bad this isn't a gun. Pop.
Yeah, it's executes a trash can in front of an
Yeah.
audience, bloodthirsty fans, right? Like, but you know what? If it is that they just want to put a wound anywhere, like, as long my other thing is, as long as every faction has some way to do this, I'm okay with it. As long as everybody gets a toy to play with. And I am fine with auto wounds, because sometimes you just can't kill anything. Pierce exists, but there's a lot of pierce resistant units.
It just seems like this would be weird. It could have just been like a keyword on an attack
Oh, sure.
or something. Like
There's a lot of ways.
To simplify it.
if this
Yeah.
was just an attack that had a cool keyword on it, it would
Like
fix all of these
like
weird loopholes that
disintegrate, right? Like anything I hit,
Yeah.
just now. I wonder if like, so playtesters don't always play the sweatiest build. Like, look, if you listen to a podcast, you're sweaty, and I don't mean like even like casual. I mean like you care a little bit more than like the guy who's like, I'm painting all my clones and I'm making Obi's 2/12th army specifically to what he had. Like, who's just like, he plays Obi every time. He goes to have a good time. He goes like 0-3 every tournament, but he's just happy to be there. Like, that's not you, probably. You like, you listen to some strategy, you've got some list building, you talk with your friends, right? I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm like, you care to like kind of look into it a little bit more.
Right.
And I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, cards like this are like, they're just weird, and it's like I don't like when I criticize the Ambam rifle. It's not. I don't think anyone's. I don't think anyone's dumb. I don't think it was a bad idea. I'll throw that out the window. I'm not mad at anybody. Nothing like that. I just, as a card, I'm looking at this objectively, and I think it's kind of weird. All it really needs is a FAQ. Unfortunately, we don't have one yet, so we're just kind of like, I guess I can just do all this, you know, right? Like, so it's more of like I just wish it was written a little bit more succinctly, so somebody who's in that casual pool, like, I'm not like shooting a guy out of a truck, or like they're like, oh, Obi-Wan, my favorite character, is safe fighting the battle droids, or like fighting the rebel troopers, and I'm like, you know, like side like like using the gun from Titanfall that just auto tracks, you know, I'm just like shot.
Oh, dude, that was the worst.
Dude, miserable to die to that thing.
Oh gosh.
Also, low key, if anyone's listening, if you can make a Titanfall miniature game, please, I'll just buy it. I'll just buy it. I don't even care if it's good or bad. Just
Dude, imagine. Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yo, we should do you know what, Ramone, we'll have you on sometime again, and we'll do a what we want to see in a Titanfall miniature game.
Dude, that'd be I'd be down for that.
Well, we'll just like make a whole spreadsheet of just like what we'd like to see, because I'm here for it. Actually, yeah, you come on the 5th tile. There we go. Then we got our other one. We'll do an episode of that. Now I will say, I'm very excited to play these, and I'm very excited to see Mandalorian hit the table, because that will bring more people into the game. Because the to be fair to everything Legion, their box art's awesome, right?
Yeah,
It looks cool.
for sure.
People walk by and like, oh, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it? You know,
It's
like
always, but when a super popular character like Mando hits, like it's gonna bring people in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You know the cool thing about this is that Mando is actually the reason I got into Legion.
Oh,
I had
really?
finished
Oh, really?
watching I had finished watching the first season of it, and I was like, man, I'm really wanting more Star Wars. This is super nostalgic, you know. So I go to my local store to pick up some random stuff, and I'm like, yo, what's this? And that day,
What is
that day
this?
I was
Yeah.
broke. I was broke that day.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's and hobby games bring together, you meet a lot of new friends. Hobby is like here's another good way to explain what hobby games mean to a lot of people, especially me. It's like it's a hobby, something you can do. It's not a book club. Nothing wrong with book clubs, but like it's like there's not really like like groups anymore. I don't know, like as a guy who likes Star Wars and I like games, there's not a whole lot of like gaming club, you know, like used to be like golf. Your dad
Right.
probably had like a
Yeah.
golfing club or something like that, and I don't. Like I've no, maybe they exist, but this is like
It's your local. That's
yeah, like whatever your local thing is. For a lot of people, Legion is their local thing. They get together, they get out of the house. You know, you work a job, you got a family. I respect it, but you need a night away once in a while just to like play some Legion with the boys. You know, like
Yeah,
it's like a
that's
thing
for
you go
sure.
out just one night. You're not nothing wrong with that, right? You go out and you like throw some dice. You talk about Star Wars. Andor just came out. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but
I
like,
haven't either.
but
want
you
to.
get that cool like water cooler moment of like, hey, man, that's I do like the weekly episodic because you get those moments to talk with your friends. Like every week you get together to play Legion, to talk about the next episode of Andor, right? Like it's something you can do to bring a community together, and that's why we care about the game so much. Is because I met so many friends. Like I wouldn't have met you, Ramone, if we didn't play Legion, right? Like
Yeah, that's for sure.
yeah, which is not even close, right? Or Nick or anybody. So it's I only
Second on
know
list. I appreciate it. All right.
yeah, and the Nick
Fine.
guy. But like I wouldn't have met a lot of people if it wasn't for this game.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
it transcends being a game, and it's more of like a community of like-minded people just enjoying something. And so when people get spicy about it, and I'm not saying at each other, but like toward like, hey man, we don't like this thing you've done with the game. I'll just take swoop bikes or something, right? Hey, it's like search crit, what's going on, or crit the block. Like it's because we've made so many connections and friends, and we love the game, and we want to keep playing, right? Like,
Mhm.
hey, like we hold this in very high regard. We just very passionate about it, and I don't envy anybody who's working on the game right now, because like the game's very popular. Like
Yeah.
Legion's like
That-
number 4, I think.
Yeah.
That pressure's got to be crippling.
Yeah, like it's number 4. They've got Marvel Crisis Protocol, they've got X-Wing, they've got Legion, and like Armada, you know, like that. Like they just kind of like flip all through that. Like, and you know, if you're worked anywhere where they like to use passion as a reason to be there, that means you're probably not being like, I don't know salaries. I'm not saying they don't get. I'm saying like they probably. Yeah. That I bet the pay is not like amazing. So I give them a lot of slack because like, look, man, I get it. Like it's a lot. I remember when like this was years ago, like some of the FFG staff, they talk salaries with me, and I'm like casual. They're all gone now, so like it doesn't matter anymore. But I'm like, yo, you make what? You know, it's like you're making the most popular miniature game in the market, which was X-Wing at the time, and I'm like, you'll make what? Like that sucks. Like if you're gonna be mad at anybody, like be mad at Asmodee. Like don't be mad at AMG. Like be upset with like the suits at the top who aren't giving these people the money or the manpower, because they're definitely like, they're buying studios. Like, what did Asmodee just buy? Like, they're putting out that other card game. Like, they're doing okay, right? Like, give these people some money and some like more people. And we get really up about it because we care about it.
Yeah.
It's not like,
at the end of the day, you just got to keep in mind, the bigger picture,
Yeah.
We got a wholesome Evan rant to end the episode.
I know, right? It's instead of just like snipers in my Christian game, like my Christian Minecraft server. No one uses that word here.
But my clone snipers says it's 2 red on the card.
Oh
no. All right. Nope.
Dude.
I didn't say that. We'll
No,
do that. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
That's that's a scoundrel. I'm leaving that to them. But yeah, so it's like I've made so many friends with the game. I made a lot through X-Wing, and when I always get a little tinge of sadness when I'm at like Nova and I look over in the X-Wing community, like their group of people is a lot more like animated and fun. And I mean that, like, not that Legion people aren't a good time, but they made like Chris Allen, who's a big name in X-Wing, not a big name as in he TOs like everything. This dude like they're doing Crate Cup in a week or 2 weeks. It's like a big X-Wing tournament he's puts on in the shop. He's a big name that he just runs events all the time. He for his birthday, they all went to Texas Roadhouse and they made him sit on that like horse thing. Yeah, the saddle. And then they made a trophy for him, a class trophy that said world's best cowboy. And they gave it to him as like, they do cool stuff like that. Like, it's like, sometimes I worry that people take Legion too seriously. And deep down, it's like a game and like, you're really there to hang out with your bros.
Yeah.
Or broettes. I don't know the opposite term for that. Sorry. Your female friends or whoever you're hanging out with. And like, you just like, that's what it's about. Right. Because again, if this was like not Star Wars, if this was like, you're ID 45 and Jin Jajarin, like if it was just some made up anything that wasn't like an IP I cared about, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be wherever they put Star Wars if it was that awful other miniature game they made. Not Imperial Assault, the one that was like skirmishes or something. I don't know. I remember I tried to buy into it. It was expensive, looked bad. Anyway,
we had like the shining end of the rant, and then it's just like no.
The anger comes in. Down through. No anger. But either way, everybody, thanks for listening. Ramone, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm glad you hung out with us. I remember you're like, well, what are we talking about? I'm like, I don't know. This is like how Nick and I mostly
we'll fill some time. Our last episode is getting a little long. We'll try to make this one shorter.
Then we go like an hour and a half again. It's fine. It's Legion's fun to talk about.
For sure.
And it's only going to get more fun once we get like, I think, what is it? It's IGs are the last, and no, Old Man Boba is Q1 next year, I think. Question mark. I know he's not this year. It's IGs are the last this year release. And I think they said Ewoks are like way
Ewoks, they're planning.
Hopefully they forget about them
for the anniversary.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Return of the Jedi.
Oh, really? Okay. God, am I going to be? Am I going to be playing
yes,
a
you are.
Ewok list?
Yes, you are.
My buddy was
Little headdress, dancing around with a little stone spear. Yep.
My buddy's like, yo, you need to make the intensive Care Bears. I'm like, no, that's just funny enough for me to do it. So I was like, so maybe, but all right, I'm rambling. Nick, any final thoughts?
No. Enjoy Legion, have fun. It's a game, but also pump people snipers within special.
Absolutely.
Walls.
Punish them for bringing those awful jerk units. Ramone, any last thoughts?
No. Nick, come on, see us, man. You're close enough.
I'll see if I can sneak that in. Actually, that's a little quick, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
My final thoughts are, so remember, Unlimited Powa on October 1st and 2nd. Metagames Unlimited, Springfield, Missouri. Be there, be square. Hopefully Nick can go. Maybe we'll send him
Yeah.
a little care package.
We'll have tons
Uh,
of prizes. Giving
Tons
out.
of prizes. Fan events are the best events. Everybody, stay rad. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Have a
See you
good
guys.
Join us next week for another edition of the Fifth Trooper podcast.
This has been a Fifth Trooper production.